The MOS of a 12 November in the United States Army is a horizontal construction engineer. Before we dive into the MOS of a 12 November in the United States Army, make sure you are subscribed to this channel if you are not already. Also enable notifications so that you can join the notification platoon and get notified as soon as new videos go live, as well as live streams. So let's get this going and let's talk about the job duties of a horizontal construction engineer in the United States Army. The primary duties of a 12 November in the United States Army is going to include the operation of heavy equipment such as bulldozers, road graders, and more. Soldiers in this MOS will also operate military construction equipment to prepare sites for construction purposes. This is an MOS that is available for active duty National Guard as well as reserves. An individual is going to have either a high school diploma or a GED, as well as take the ASVAB and get a qualifying AFQT score for the United States Army. Now, when an individual is looking to get the MOS of a 12 November, that is going to require them to at least get a 90 in the general maintenance section of the ASVAB. Now, that score from the general maintenance section of the ASVAB will come from 4 subjects. Those subjects will include general science, auto and shop, mathematics knowledge, and electronics information. The training to become a 12 November in the United States Army is going to include the typical 10 weeks of basic training, but from there an individual will have to go on to 9 weeks of AIT at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Now, in my experience of seeing individuals with this MOS, they're usually in some kind of engineer unit. I will see these people, sometimes on post working these heavy equipment, the dozers, the graders and stuff, maybe clearing parking lots for them to gravel it or even get it paved, or even clearing an area where the Corps of Engineers is going to be, working some construction to maybe build a building for training, for some kind of, building that is going to be needed on post. These individuals would also be like out in Iraq too. They would be maybe clearing some areas where we were going to set up some tents, or where they were going to lay down some gravel and maybe get some kind of like connexes to lay down to turn into basically our bedrooms. They were called chews. So these individuals are doing multiple jobs, working with these dozers, these dump trucks, these graders, all sorts of things for multiple purposes. Typically for construction purposes, like is in the job for clearing out an area to build for another MOS to come in and do the actual construction piece on that site. Now, of course, you can't do that every single day. I'm sure that keeps you somewhat busy, but other days will probably involve these individuals being in the motor pool, working with their dozers, their graders, whatever piece of equipment it is that they're kind of responsible for that section, that platoon, whatever it's broken down into. Probably working in the motor pool, doing general maintenance on those pieces of equipment, doing the PMCS, the preventive checks and maintenance on those pieces of equipment, and working in the motor pool with that equipment. Now, as far as transitioning from the military side to the civilian side with this MOS training, it can probably translate quite well to the construction world. So if you were someone who's interested in, getting the experience in the Army and then transitioning to construction, working heavy equipment like operating those bulldozers and graders and all that other stuff that the military uses in this MOS, you can probably transfer that quite well. It probably is very seamless, maybe some subtle differences, but for the most part, that experience working with that military heavy equipment is going to look really good on your resume when you're trying to get something in that similar line of work. But of course, a lot of individuals don't necessarily have to translate directly over. You can still get the experience, maybe use it to, get a little bit of a look on other construction assets and, maybe transition out of that, but use your construction, background to help you transition into some other parts of construction in the civilian side. Now, if I have any viewers out there that are currently in the United States Army as a 12 November, a horizontal construction engineer, or maybe previously in the Army in this MOS, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you liked about the MOS, what you didn't like about the MOS. Also giving out some tips for maybe some individuals, some other viewers that are maybe interested in joining the Army to become this MOS in the United States Army. If you have an MOS in the United States Army that you're interested in that I have not yet covered, make sure to leave those down in the comments down below. I like to look to those to see what people are requesting, see what comments people are giving the thumbs up to, because they want to know about those as well. I tend to look for the ones that are kind of popular, the ones I've been seeing in the comment section from multiple people, whatever, to decide what to cover in the next MOS Monday episode. So hopefully you enjoyed that brief summary of the 12 November in the United States Army. If so, slap a thumbs up on it. Check out some recommended videos over here, including a playlist to other MOS Monday episodes. Links down in the description for social media, Patreon, and more. I'm ThatChrisChaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya.